Hi there. When it comes to buying something, I often find it almost impossible to make up my mind. There seems to be just too much choice nowadays. We're bombarded with advertising on the television, on the internet, and in the streets. The more I see and hear, the harder it is to make a decision. So, when I'm buying the latest technology, I like to speak to a tech-savvy friend who can give me some top tips, and so that I can avoid those ads. What influences you when you decide to buy something?
When I'm buying something that I haven't bought before, I tend to check online, and I tend to look at reviews that are online, and I don't buy anything with less than 4 stars.
It just depends on what I want. For example, if it's clothes, then like Instagram plays a big part in what fashion is at the moment. So for example, I'll see what my friends are wearing or kind of Instagram, and I'll decide based on that.
Yeah, for me as a student, it's pretty much just price. A little bit of quality, but yeah, mostly price.
Probably brand, definitely brand. Also advocacy, so word of mouth. So if my friend's, she's bought a top somewhere and I really like it, I'm like, okay, I'd like to go and, purchase the same top. Yeah, probably brands.
If I'm buying electronics, I'll quite often go for items that have been refurbished, so they cost a bit less than brand new, but they're just as good. So I'm not too worried about things that look fancy as long as they do the job.
I do prefer to do my shopping when I can actually touch things and see them rather than doing that online. Physical, being able to touch and experience a physical object is always a factor for me as well. And the price, obviously.
Tell us about something that you've bought recently and how you decided to buy it.
Well, I've recently bought a wonderful new food mixer, and I went to my local large electrical retailer called Currys, checked out the prices, and then I went online and I ordered it online because it was £90 cheaper.
I bought an energy drink from the shops, and how did I decide to buy it? I had some cash on me, I was feeling thirsty, thought that's the drink that I like, I'll buy that one. Yeah, it was as simple as that.
Oh, I recently bought a bike, and that was through friends influencing me and wanting to be healthier. And how did I buy it? Well, there was a lot of research on the internet, finding out different reviews and what was on offer. I think that's how I landed on the choice that I made.
I bought a book on event management as part of the course I'm doing. And what led me to choose that particular book, I looked at the content, I looked at the reviews online, really important, and the price. So I think it was these 3 factors.
What kind of advertising is most effective?
I think advertising which was most effective for me is basically just to see it on the street, because these are usually the advertisements which are the best quality, when it's printed on these very large billboards. I mean, living in London, you see these all the time, or even where my family live in Dubai, that's how they do it. Across the road when you're driving, you have these huge billboards or as you're driving past, and if it's on your daily route and you just see this huge picture every single day, then yeah. I mean, I don't think the internet is particularly effective, for example, because they use a lot of cookies, and okay, you'll Google something and then it will pop up on your Facebook feed, but I find this quite annoying and it actually puts me off the product after a while, so yeah.
Lately, I would say it's social media. So you have a lot of celebrities, a lot of people who are pretty well recognized online, who are selling products and different items online. So, you only need to think of a couple of celebrities that you follow on Snapchat or Instagram, and you'll find that they're actually advertising for particular products, whether it's shoes or clothes or a particular drink. It's done online, and a lot of the time, because of someone you admire, okay, he's got that sort of product. Looks interesting, I might try it out.
Yeah, I think it's not really advertising, but word of mouth. I recently bought headphones as well, and they emailed me 3 weeks later asking me if I could do them a favor and tell someone what I authentically thought of the headphones, and I loved them at the time, so I told most people about them. So when someone else is telling you about something they've bought, you're more likely to buy it, which is the same as like reviews and the more chatty type of advertising you get online, I guess. So
yeah, that makes me think that when you can relate to something and when it's more personalized that way, even if it's after you make the purchase or before, then that makes you a lot more likely to talk to other people about it and tell more people about your experience, and it creates a topic of conversation.
Are you manipulated easily by advertising?
Only insofar as sometimes adverts really annoy me. Other than that, I can't say I'm really... I wouldn't say myself that I'm easily manipulated by adverts, but maybe I don't know how I am.
I definitely am. When I cycle through London and I see those advertisements, I don't know, there was this one peanut butter and it looked so good. And I actually went looking in the supermarkets for that particular peanut butter. And it was, it was a good choice.
I would say for me an element of word of mouth is also quite strong, because it just means a friend or an acquaintance or just someone I know at work or whatever will have tried the product and can just recommend based on experience, which is why for me it's so important to actually read customer reviews, because they have tried it, not just purchase something.
I'm not really the right person to ask about advertising because I used to work in advertising, so I'm a little bit sceptical about it, but I do like creative advertising. It doesn't necessarily mean that I will buy if I've seen a great ad, but I do enjoy watching it. It doesn't really influence me.